Hola, ¿cómo estás? Espero que hoy tengas un gran día. Hoy vamos a realizar un intensivo de inglés, para que practiques con el idioma en poco tiempo. Tu objetivo es conseguir entender al menos el 70% de la historia. A lo largo del video escucharemos la historia solo en inglés, y usaremos subtítulos en inglés y en español, con frases muy cortas y un vocabulario muy sencillo de entender. Cada 10 minutos escucharás un timbre como este. Tenlos en cuenta para que puedas hacer una pequeña pausa, y para que así la experiencia sea lo más cómoda posible para ti. Ponte cómodo o cómoda y disfruta de la historia. Si te gustan este tipo de clases, no olvides comentar, trae más historias. También te animamos a compartir este video con 5 contactos, que tengan un nivel de inglés muy bajo. Ahora sí, comenzamos.
The Unicorn and the Pegasus, the legend that lit the forbidden forest. Once upon a time, in a land not far from where you dream, there was a forest unlike any other. It was called the Forbidden Forest, a place wrapped in mystery and magic. You could hear whispers about it in the wind, and tales of wonder were told by the flickering flames of the village bonfires. In this forest lived a unicorn, a creature as pure as the morning dew. Its coat gleamed like the moon, and its horn shimmered with an ethereal glow. This unicorn had a secret. Every night, when the world was asleep, it would wander to the heart of the forest and dance under the starlit sky. The unicorn's hooves barely touched the ground, and with each step, flowers bloomed and leaves turned silver. The forest loved the unicorn, for it brought life and light to the darkness. But one night, something changed. As the unicorn danced, a soft breeze carried a new scent, like a fresh spring rain. It was a Pegasus, a majestic winged horse, soaring gracefully above. The Pegasus landed gently beside the unicorn, folding its wings as if tucking away a secret. Its eyes sparkled with curiosity and warmth. The two creatures, so different yet so alike, became instant friends. They shared stories of the skies and the forest, of freedom and roots. The unicorn spoke of the joy it felt when it brought life to the forest, and the Pegasus shared the thrill of soaring among the clouds. They spent nights together, laughing and discovering the world from each other's eyes. Then, a shadow fell over the forbidden forest. A dark creature, known as the Gloom, crept in. The gloom had the power to steal light and joy, leaving only cold emptiness behind. It sought to devour the magic of the forest, to snuff out its glow. The unicorn and the Pegasus knew they had to act. With courage in their hearts, they stood together at the heart of the forest. The gloom approached, a swirling mass of darkness, whispering lies of despair. But the unicorn and the Pegasus did not falter. The unicorn's horn began to shine brighter, and the Pegasus spread its wings wide. Together, they created a light so powerful that it pierced the darkness. The light was not just from their magic, but from their bond, a friendship that was pure and true. The gloom recoiled, unable to withstand the brilliance of their combined light. It shrank and faded, leaving the forest untouched. The trees sighed with relief, and the flowers bloomed brighter than ever. The forbidden forest was safe, its magic preserved by the courage and love of the unicorn and the Pegasus. From that day on, the forest glowed with an everlasting light. It was said that if you ventured deep into the forest, you might still see a unicorn dancing with a Pegasus flying above, their laughter echoing through the trees. And if you listened closely, you could hear the whisper of a lesson, one that speaks of the power of friendship, of standing together in the face of darkness. And so, the legend of the unicorn and the Pegasus lived on, a tale told to children like you, reminding you that even in the darkest times, light can be found when you have the courage to shine. As the seasons changed, the legend of the unicorn and the Pegasus spread far and wide. The forbidden forest, once a place of fear and mystery, became a beacon of hope. Travelers from distant lands came to see the magical duo, to catch a glimpse of the wondrous bond that defied darkness. They whispered tales of the unicorn's grace and the Pegasus's freedom, and of a friendship that lit up the world. One day, a young girl named Elara ventured into the forest. She had heard the stories her whole life, stories that had filled her with awe and longing. Elara was small and shy, with a heart full of dreams and a soul touched by a sadness she couldn't quite name. She had always felt different, like she didn't belong in the world around her. The tales of the unicorn and the Pegasus called to her, promising something she couldn't yet understand. As she wandered deeper into the forest, Elara felt the air change. It was softer here, as if each breath carried the essence of magic. She followed a path lined with silver leaves, her steps light and hesitant. The trees seemed to watch her, their branches swaying in a gentle dance. And then, she saw them. The unicorn stood by a sparkling brook, its coat gleaming under the dappled sunlight. Beside it, the Pegasus drank from the water, its wings folded elegantly. They were more magnificent than she had ever imagined. Her breath caught, and she felt a tear slip down her cheek. She wasn't sure why she was crying. Perhaps it was the beauty of the moment, or the sense of something bigger than herself. The unicorn looked up, meeting her gaze. Its eyes were deep and knowing, as if it could see into her soul. The Pegasus turned, its feathers rustling softly. Elara felt a warmth spread through her, a feeling of being seen, truly seen, for the first time. She hesitated, unsure if she should approach. But the unicorn took a step forward, and then another. It bowed its head, offering a silent invitation. Elara reached out, her hand trembling. As she touched the unicorn's soft mane, a flood of emotions washed over her. She felt the loneliness she had carried lift, replaced by a sense of belonging. The Pegasus stepped closer, its eyes filled with kindness. It nudged her gently, as if to say, "You are not alone." In that moment, Elara understood the true power of the legend. It wasn't just a story about magic or courage. It was about connection, about finding your place in the world. The unicorn and the Pegasus had found each other, and in doing so, they had found a way to light up the darkest of places. And now, they were offering her the same gift. Elara smiled through her tears, a smile that reached her eyes. She knew she would never forget this moment, the day she met the creatures of legend and felt the touch of their magic.
Genial, lo estás haciendo muy bien, respira hondo, y pausa un momento para que puedas tomar un vaso de agua. El cerebro necesita de pequeñas pausas para poder asimilar la máxima información posible. Se trata de divertirse aprendiendo, no sufriendo. Además, si te está gustando, aprovecha para suscribirte para que podamos seguir trayendo más historias así. ¿Seguimos? Vamos allá.
The forest around her seemed to hum with life, as if it were singing a song only she could hear. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold, Elara stood with the unicorn and the Pegasus, feeling the weight of her sadness lift. The creatures nuzzled her gently, and she knew she had found a piece of herself in this enchanted place. The light of the forest would stay with her, a beacon to guide her through the challenges ahead. The legend of the unicorn and the Pegasus continued to grow, not just as a tale of wonder, but as a testament to the power of friendship and the courage to face one's fears. Elara left the forest that day with a heart full of hope and a spirit ready to soar. And as she walked away, she could feel the magic lingering in the air, a promise that no matter where she went, she would never be alone. As Elara made her way out of the forbidden forest, the echoes of her encounter with the unicorn and the Pegasus lingered in her heart. She returned to her village, where life continued its usual rhythm, but she felt different. The world seemed brighter, the colors more vibrant, and the burdens she once carried felt lighter. She couldn't help but smile, a quiet, knowing smile that held the warmth of a shared secret. In the days that followed, Elara began to share her story with the villagers. At first, they listened with skepticism, their brows furrowed in doubt. But as she spoke, something changed in their eyes. They saw the sincerity in her voice, the light that had ignited in her since her return. Slowly, the villagers began to believe. The tale of the unicorn and the Pegasus, once just a legend, became a symbol of hope and unity. One night, under a sky full of stars, the village gathered around a great bonfire. Elara stood before them, feeling a mix of excitement and nerves. She looked at the faces of her neighbors, her family, and saw in them a reflection of the doubt she had once felt. Taking a deep breath, she began to tell her story again, but this time, she spoke not just of the magic she had witnessed, but of the transformation she felt within herself. She told them how the unicorn's eyes had mirrored her loneliness, and how the Pegasus's gentle nudge had melted her fears. She spoke of the warmth of their presence, the unconditional acceptance they had offered. As she spoke, the villagers felt a stirring in their hearts. Some felt the weight of their own unspoken sadness, others the sting of their silent fears. But more than that, they felt a new sensation, hope. The bonfire crackled, casting dancing shadows across the gathering. Elara reached the part of her tale where she felt the forest's magic wrap around her, lifting her spirits. She described how the forest seemed to come alive, how the air felt charged with possibility. And then, she paused, looking around at the faces illuminated by the firelight. With a voice steady and clear, she said, "The magic wasn't just in the forest. It's in all of us." The unicorn and the Pegasus showed me that we each carry a light that can banish any darkness. Her words hung in the air, resonating with a truth that touched everyone. The villagers felt a connection, not just with Alara, but with each other. They realized that the legend of the unicorn and the Pegasus wasn't just about fantastical creatures. It was a reflection of the human experience. It was about the power of love, the strength found in friendship, and the courage to confront the shadows within. As the night deepened, something beautiful happened. The villagers, inspired by Alara's story, began to share their own tales. They spoke of personal struggles, moments of despair, and the quiet joys that had kept them going. They opened up in ways they never had before, finding comfort in the collective warmth of their community. It was as if the forest's magic had spread beyond its borders, touching every heart gathered around the fire. And so, the village transformed. The legend of the unicorn and the Pegasus became a living, breathing part of their lives. It was no longer just a story told to children, but a reminder to all that magic exists in the most unexpected places, in acts of kindness, and shared moments of vulnerability, in the simple yet profound connections that bind people together. Alara, once a quiet girl with a hidden sadness, became a beacon of light in her village. She carried with her the essence of the forest, a gentle reminder that no one is ever truly alone. And as she walked through life, she continued to share her story, spreading the magic of the unicorn and the Pegasus far and wide. The forbidden forest remained a place of wonder, its secrets guarded by those who dared to believe. And if you ever find yourself wandering under the canopy of silver leaves, you might just catch a glimpse of a unicorn's gleam or hear the whisper of Pegasus' wings. In those moments, remember the legend that lit up the forest and know that the same light lives within you, waiting to shine. Years passed, and the village thrived, transformed by the enduring magic of Alara's tale. The once forbidden forest had become a cherished sanctuary. Children played beneath its canopy, their laughter mingling with the whispers of the trees. The villagers walked its paths with a sense of reverence and wonder, their lives forever touched by the legend of the unicorn and the Pegasus. Alara grew older, her hair touched by silver threads and her eyes holding the quiet wisdom of her experiences. Yet, she remained as spirited as ever, carrying the warmth of the forest's magic within her heart. Each day, she would take a stroll to the edge of the forest, her footsteps soft against the earth. She had made it a tradition to visit the places where she had once met the unicorn and the Pegasus, feeling their presence in the rustling leaves and the gentle breeze. One crisp autumn morning, as the sun cast a golden glow over the forest, Alara felt a familiar tug at her heart. She knew it was time for something new, something beyond the stories she had shared. With a sense of both excitement and melancholy, she walked deeper into the forest, following the path that had become so familiar to her. As she reached the heart of the forest, she was greeted by a sight she had hoped to see but never expected. The unicorn and the Pegasus awaited her, their forms shimmering with the same magical glow that had captivated her so many years ago. The unicorn's coat sparkled like stardust, and the Pegasus's wings fluttered with a soft breeze, as if the forest itself was alive with anticipation. The unicorn lowered its head in greeting, and the Pegasus let out a gentle whinny, a sound filled with affection. Elara felt a rush of emotion, her heart swelling with gratitude and love. The creatures had come to say goodbye, or perhaps to guide her to a new chapter. The unicorn's eyes, deep and knowing, seemed to speak without words. It was time for Elara to pass on the light they had shared. The Pegasus extended its wings, and Elara felt a sense of peace and acceptance.
Muy bien, segunda pausa, ¿qué te está pareciendo la historia? Escribe abajo en comentarios tu opinión. Aprovecha también para ir al baño, o para tomar un café, o té. Y para motivarte a seguir, que sepas que solo el 5% de las personas llega hasta esta parte del video, te felicitamos. Seguimos, que esto no pare.
She knew that her time in the village had been a gift, a chance to spread the magic she had received. With a final, heartfelt embrace of the unicorn and a gentle nudge from the Pegasus, Elara took a deep breath and stepped into the forest's embrace. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers and the soft hum of the forest's magic. The path ahead was shrouded in mystery, but Elara felt ready. She had learned that the light she carried was not just her own. It was a light meant to be shared, to be spread wherever it could bring hope and warmth. As she ventured further, the forest seemed to part for her, guiding her through a veil of shimmering mist. She felt a sense of being both part of the forest and beyond it, a bridge between the magical and the mundane. The world outside would continue to thrive, filled with the stories and light she had shared. And within the forest, new magic would emerge, nurtured by the legacy of the unicorn and the Pegasus. Back in the village, life went on with a renewed sense of purpose. The children grew up with tales of Elara's courage and the enchanted forest. They learned that magic wasn't just in fairy tales, but in the everyday acts of kindness and bravery. The village itself became a place where dreams and reality intertwined, where the legend of the unicorn and the Pegasus lived on in the hearts of all who believed. And so, the story continued, a never-ending cycle of wonder and hope. Whenever you feel a spark of magic in your own life, remember the tale of Elara and the enchanted forest. Remember that the light within you can banish the darkest shadows, and that every act of kindness, every moment of courage, adds a bit of magic to the world. The legend of the unicorn and the Pegasus isn't just a story of the past, it's a living, breathing reminder that in every heart, there's a spark of the extraordinary waiting to shine. As the years rolled on, the tale of Elara and the enchanted forest grew into a cherished legend, one passed down through generations. The village, now a place of light and joy, continued to flourish under the legacy of hope and connection that Elara had nurtured. The forest remained a symbol of magic and wonder, a place where dreams seemed to touch the edges of reality. One evening, when the twilight painted the sky in hues of purple and gold, a young boy named Finn found himself drawn to the edge of the forest. Finn was a curious child with eyes wide open to the mysteries of the world. He had heard the stories of Alara, the unicorn, and the Pegasus, and though he had never seen them himself, he felt a deep sense of connection to their legend. With a heart full of wonder, Finn stepped into the forest, guided by the soft glow of fireflies and the gentle rustle of the leaves. The forest seemed to embrace him as he ventured deeper, a sense of familiarity wrapping around him like a warm blanket. He followed the winding path that Alara had once walked, his footsteps light and hopeful. As Finn reached the heart of the forest, he noticed something extraordinary. The unicorn and the Pegasus were there, just as they had been in Alara's time. They stood in a glade bathed in the light of the setting sun, their forms shimmering with an ethereal glow. The unicorn's mane flowed like liquid silver, and the Pegasus's wings fluttered gently, creating a soft breeze that danced through the trees. The creatures turned to Finn, their eyes meeting his with a knowing kindness. The unicorn lowered its head, and the Pegasus stepped forward, as if welcoming him into their world. Finn's heart raced with excitement and a hint of trepidation. He felt as if he had stumbled upon a hidden part of himself, a piece of the magic he had always believed in but never quite seen. The unicorn approached Finn, its eyes reflecting a depth of understanding. It nudged him gently, and Finn felt a rush of warmth and comfort. The Pegasus spread its wings and let out a soft, melodious sound, a song that seemed to speak of dreams and possibilities. Finn closed his eyes, letting the music of the Pegasus fill him, and he felt a deep sense of belonging, as if the forest itself was singing to his soul. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of deep blue, the unicorn and the Pegasus began to move. They led Finn to a clearing where the stars seemed to shine brighter, their light mingling with the gentle glow of the creatures. Finn watched in awe as the unicorn danced with grace and the Pegasus soared above, their movements creating a breathtaking display of light and shadow. In that magical moment, Finn felt a profound connection to something greater than himself. He understood that the forest's magic was not just in the creatures but in the bond they shared with those who believed. The light they carried was a gift, one that could inspire and uplift, no matter how dark the world might seem. The unicorn and the Pegasus came to a stop, their eyes full of a serene wisdom. They seemed to be telling Finn that the magic of the forest was now his to carry forward. With a sense of purpose, Finn nodded, feeling the weight of their gift and the promise it held. He knew that the legend of the unicorn and the Pegasus was not just a story of the past, but a living truth that could guide and inspire future generations. As Finn left the forest that night, he carried with him the essence of the magic he had witnessed. The stars above seemed to twinkle with a new brilliance, and the night air felt charged with possibility. Finn was no longer just a boy with dreams. He was a keeper of the light, a bearer of the legacy that had shaped his village and beyond. Back in the village, Finn began to share his own story, weaving it into the rich tapestry of the legend. His words inspired others, and the magic of the unicorn and the Pegasus continued to thrive, spreading hope and light to all who believed. The village, once again, became a place of wonder and joy, where the past and present intertwined in a dance of shared dreams and enduring connections. The forest remained a sanctuary, its secrets known only to those who sought them with open hearts. And as you walk through life, remember that the magic of the unicorn and the Pegasus is not confined to a single story or a single place. It lives in every act of kindness, every moment of courage, and every spark of hope that you carry within yourself. The legend lives on, a testament to the power of belief and the light that can banish the darkest shadows. In every heart, there's a touch of the extraordinary waiting to shine. And as long as there are dreamers like Finn, and hearts that believe, the magic of the unicorn and the Pegasus will continue to illuminate the world. As Finn grew older, he became a beacon of inspiration for his village. His tales of the unicorn and the Pegasus filled the hearts of those who heard them, igniting a new wave of wonder and hope.
Genial, te felicito por llegar hasta aquí, estás llegando muy lejos. Vamos, ahora en esta pequeña pausa es momento de mover un poco el cuerpo para liberar tensiones, te reto a hacer 10 sentadillas o 10 flexiones, lo que tú decidas. Escribe en comentarios si te has animado a mover el cuerpo. Además, ¿sabías que puedes seguir practicando inglés con nosotros con una metodología nueva, y que está triunfando entre los latinoamericanos? Si te interesa, escribe, quiero aprender inglés, y te enseñamos cómo puedes hacerlo.
The village, under his gentle influence, continued to blossom. The magic of the forest had become a part of its very essence, a thread that wove through the lives of its people. One crisp winter's night, as snowflakes danced in the moonlight, Finn found himself drawn to the forest once more. He walked the path with a heart full of memories and a soul steeped in gratitude. The forest seemed to welcome him back with open arms, its trees draped in a blanket of white, the ground sparkling like a field of stars. At the heart of the forest, in the familiar glade, the unicorn and the Pegasus awaited him. The scene was more breathtaking than Finn remembered. The unicorn's silver mane glistened like a cascade of stars, and the Pegasus's wings created patterns of light in the moonlit snow. They looked at Finn with eyes full of warmth and wisdom, as if they had been waiting for him. Finn approached them with a reverent smile. His heart swelled with love and respect for these magical beings who had guided him and inspired so many. The unicorn lowered its head, nuzzling him gently, while the Pegasus extended a wing, creating a soft, protective cocoon of warmth around him. The night was filled with a profound silence, a quiet that seemed to hum with the echoes of countless stories. Finn closed his eyes, feeling the forest's magic envelop him. He knew that the time had come for him to pass on the legacy, just as Alara had before him. He took a deep breath, drawing strength from the bond he shared with the unicorn and the Pegasus. In a voice filled with both reverence and determination, he spoke softly, "Thank you for the light you've given me. I promise to carry it forward, to share it with those who need it. Your magic has touched my life in ways words cannot express, and I will honor that gift." The unicorn and the Pegasus seemed to understand, their eyes shining with approval. They stepped back, creating a space where Finn felt the presence of something new, something transformative. Finn felt a stirring deep within him, a realization that the magic of the forest was not just a gift but a responsibility, a call to continue spreading light and hope. As Finn prepared to leave the forest, he glanced back at the unicorn and the Pegasus, feeling a sense of peace and fulfillment. He knew that their magic would continue to inspire and uplift, reaching hearts far beyond the forest's edge. The bond they shared was eternal, a bridge between the mystical and the everyday. The village awaited him with open arms. As Finn recounted his latest experience, the villagers gathered around, their eyes wide with wonder. They listened to his story with a sense of awe, feeling the same magic that had once touched Alara and Finn himself. The tales of the unicorn and the Pegasus lived on, each retelling adding a new layer to the legend. Generations passed, and the village remained a place of enchantment and hope. The forest continued to be a sanctuary, a place where dreams and reality intertwined. The legacy of the unicorn and the Pegasus was carried forward by those who believed, a living testament to the power of connection and the light within each of us. And so, the story of the unicorn and the Pegasus became a timeless symbol of the extraordinary within the ordinary. It reminded everyone that magic isn't confined to fairy tales. It's found in the love we give, the courage we muster, and the hope we share. The legend lives on, not just as a story of mythical creatures, but as a reflection of the light that dwells in every heart. Whenever you find yourself in a moment of darkness, remember the tale of Finn, Alara, and the magical forest. Know that the light of the unicorn and the Pegasus is within you, waiting to guide and uplift. The legend is not just about the creatures of the forest, but about the enduring magic of hope and connection that can illuminate even the darkest paths. As time unfurled, the village continued to thrive under the influence of the legend. The magic of the unicorn and the Pegasus, passed down through stories and shared experiences, became a cornerstone of the community. The village was known for its warmth, its generosity, and its spirit of unity. The forest remained a place of reverence, visited by those who sought its gentle magic and the wisdom it held. One day, a young girl named Mira arrived in the village. Mira was a dreamer, with eyes that sparkled with curiosity and a heart full of questions. She had grown up hearing whispers of the enchanted forest, of the unicorn and the Pegasus, and felt a pull to discover the truth behind the legends. The villagers welcomed Mira with open arms, sharing their stories of wonder and hope. Mira listened intently, her heart racing with anticipation. She felt as though she had been waiting for this moment her entire life. The tales of the magical creatures seemed to call to her, promising a journey of discovery and self-revelation. As Mira ventured into the forest, she felt the same sense of wonder that had greeted those before her. The trees seemed to whisper secrets, and the path ahead glowed softly in the dappled sunlight. She followed the familiar trail, guided by a sense of purpose and the stories that had become her guide. Deep in the forest, Mira arrived at the heart of the glade, where the unicorn and the Pegasus awaited her. Their presence was as breathtaking as ever. The unicorn's eyes, deep and knowing, met Mira's with a sense of recognition, and the Pegasus's wings fluttered gently, as if inviting her closer. Mira approached with a mixture of awe and trepidation. The unicorn lowered its head, offering a gentle nuzzle, and the Pegasus extended its wings, creating a cocoon of warmth around her. Mira felt a surge of emotion, a sense of being both seen and understood in a way she had never experienced before. In that moment, Mira understood that the forest's magic was not just in the creatures themselves, but in the bond they shared with those who believed. The unicorn and the Pegasus seemed to convey a silent message, that the light they carried was a gift to be cherished and passed on, just as Finn and Alara had done before her. With a heart full of gratitude, Mira sat in the glade, absorbing the beauty and tranquility that surrounded her. She felt a deep connection to the forest, to the magic it held, and to the legacy that had been entrusted to her. She knew that her journey was just beginning, that she had a role to play in continuing the story of the unicorn and the Pegasus. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the forest, Mira rose to leave. The unicorn and the Pegasus watched her with eyes full of warmth and encouragement.
Súper bien, lo estás haciendo genial, no te preocupes si hay partes que te cuesta entender más, recuerda que hasta los traductores automáticos necesitan un poco de tiempo para entender. Llevamos tanto tiempo juntos en este video, que ya te consideramos como parte de nuestra familia. Así que, no te olvides de enviarnos un mensaje de vez en cuando, porque nos preocupamos por ti, y como diría tu familia, cuida tu salud, tanto la física como la mental, sin eso es muy difícil sentir plenitud en la vida. Pero no queremos emocionarte, hay que seguir aprendiendo el inglés. Seguimos.
Mira felt a sense of purpose as she stepped back onto the path, knowing that she carried with her the essence of the magic she had encountered. Returning to the village, Mira shared her experience with the same passion and reverence that had marked the stories she had heard. Her tale became a new chapter in the ongoing legend, one that inspired others to seek out their own connections to the magical world. The village continued to grow, its spirit enriched by each new story and the light it brought. As the years passed, Mira became a beloved storyteller, her tales weaving together the past and the present, the magic of the forest and the warmth of the village. The legend of the unicorn and the Pegasus remained a living, breathing part of the community, a symbol of hope and unity that transcended time. The forest, with its shimmering paths and whispering trees, continued to be a place of wonder and solace. Those who ventured into its depths found more than just mythical creatures. They discovered a reflection of their own hearts and the light that could guide them through life's challenges. And so, the story of the unicorn and the Pegasus lived on, a timeless reminder that magic exists not only in legends but in the connections we make and the light we share. Whenever you find yourself in need of hope or guidance, remember that the magic of the forest and the legacy of its creatures are always with you, waiting to inspire and uplift. The legend endures, a testament to the extraordinary within the ordinary, a beacon of light that can illuminate even the darkest paths. In every heart, there's a spark of the magical, waiting to shine and guide you through the journey of life. As Mira continued her journey as a storyteller and keeper of the legend, her life intertwined with the magic of the unicorn and the Pegasus in ways she never imagined. The village flourished under her influence, growing into a vibrant community known not just for its enchanting tales, but for its spirit of generosity and kindness. One serene spring morning, as flowers began to bloom and the air was filled with the scent of renewal, Mira felt a gentle pull towards the forest. The seasons had changed, and so had she. She sensed that her time to explore a new chapter of the story had arrived. With a heart full of anticipation, Mira walked the familiar path into the forest. The trees greeted her with a gentle rustle, and the sunlight filtered through the canopy in golden beams. As she approached the heart of the forest, she saw the unicorn and the Pegasus waiting for her, their presence as mesmerizing as ever. The unicorn's coat shimmered with the soft glow of dawn, and the Pegasus's wings created delicate patterns in the air. Mira felt a wave of nostalgia and gratitude, knowing that these magical beings had been her guides and companions for so long. Yet, there was a new energy in the air, a sense of transformation and growth. The unicorn lowered its head, and Mira felt a gentle nudge, as if encouraging her to look deeper within herself. The Pegasus spread its wings wide, creating a protective halo around them both. Mira understood that this was not just a visit, but a sign that she was ready for a new journey, one that required her to embrace the magic she had carried and share it in new ways. The unicorn and the Pegasus seemed to communicate with each other, their eyes reflecting a shared understanding. Then, the unicorn approached Mira, touching its horn lightly to her forehead. A surge of warmth and clarity flowed through her, and she felt a deep sense of purpose. It was as though the forest was imparting a final lesson, one of profound significance. Mira closed her eyes and let the feeling wash over her. She understood that the magic of the unicorn and the Pegasus was not just about the creatures themselves, but about the spirit they represented, the spirit of transformation, hope, and connection. She was being asked to take this magic beyond the village, to spread it to places and people who had yet to experience its touch. With a heart full of resolve, Mira thanked the unicorn and the Pegasus. She promised to carry their message of hope and light into new lands, to touch lives beyond the forest and the village. The creatures nodded in approval, their eyes shining with a gentle pride. As Mira left the forest, she felt a renewed sense of purpose. She knew her journey was far from over, it was just beginning a new chapter. She traveled to distant towns and villages, sharing the tale of the unicorn and the Pegasus with all who would listen. Her stories inspired many, lighting up hearts with the magic she had received. Each place she visited welcomed her with open arms, drawn by the warmth and hope she carried with her. Mira became a beloved figure, not just for her tales, but for the way she embodied the spirit of the forest, the spirit of believing in something greater than oneself, of spreading kindness and courage wherever she went. As the years went by, the legend of the unicorn and the Pegasus grew into a universal symbol of hope and connection. The stories reached across lands and cultures, touching lives in ways that transcended boundaries. The magic of the forest was no longer confined to a single place, but had become a global beacon of light. And so, The tale of the unicorn and the Pegasus continued to inspire and uplift, a testament to the enduring power of magic and the beauty of shared dreams. Myra's journey had become a part of the legend, a living reminder that the light of the unicorn and the Pegasus is within each of us, waiting to be discovered and shared. Whenever you feel lost or in need of hope, remember that the magic of the unicorn and the Pegasus is never far away. It lives in the connections we make, the kindness we show, and the courage we find within ourselves. The legend endures, lighting up the world with its timeless message, that even in the darkest times, there is always a spark of magic waiting to guide us. As Myra's travels continued, her stories became legendary in their own right. She was invited to distant lands, places where people had only dreamed of the magic she described. Her words painted pictures of shimmering forests and majestic creatures, inspiring countless souls who had longed for hope and enchantment in their lives. One day, Mira arrived in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and serene lakes. The village was known for its serene beauty but had recently fallen under a shadow of uncertainty. The crops had failed, and the once vibrant community was struggling with a sense of despair. Mira felt a deep empathy for their plight and knew that the legend of the unicorn and the Pegasus could bring a glimmer of light to their lives. As she began to share her story with the villagers, she noticed their initial skepticism slowly give way to curiosity. Mira spoke of the enchanted forest, the unicorn's gentle wisdom, and the Pegasus's soaring grace. Her voice, filled with warmth and conviction, carried the essence of the magic she had witnessed. The villagers listened intently, their hearts slowly lifting from the weight of their worries.
Muy bien, estamos ante la última pausa de este video. Escribe en comentarios qué te está pareciendo esta forma de aprender inglés. Tus comentarios nos ayudan mucho a mejorar. Vamos, un último esfuerzo y habremos terminado con esta historia tan interesante.
One evening, Mira took the villagers to the edge of the forest, where she had once encountered the unicorn and the Pegasus. The air was crisp, and the sky was painted with the hues of twilight. She spoke softly, encouraging the villagers to open their hearts and minds to the possibility of magic. The forest, though not as vivid as in Myra's tales, seemed to respond to her words. The trees rustled with a gentle breeze, and the ground sparkled faintly under the moonlight. As the villagers gathered around, they began to feel a shift in the atmosphere. Some saw flickers of light dancing between the trees, while others felt a sense of peace that had been missing for too long. It was as though the forest itself was echoing Myra's belief in the extraordinary. One young girl named Lila, with eyes full of wonder, approached Mira with a simple question. "Do you think the unicorn and the Pegasus will come back if we believe hard enough?" Mira smiled warmly, her heart touched by Lila's innocence and hope. "Belief is a powerful thing," she said gently. "It opens our hearts to magic and allows us to see the world in a new light. Even if the unicorn and the Pegasus don't appear, the magic they represent is always with us. It's in our dreams, our kindness, and our courage." The villagers took these words to heart. They began to work together with renewed hope and determination. They planted new crops, repaired their homes, and supported each other with a spirit of community that had been missing. As they embraced the magic of belief, they found their lives gradually improving. The crops began to grow, the village's spirit revived, and a sense of optimism filled the air. Mira stayed with the village for a while, helping them rebuild not just their crops but their faith in themselves. She witnessed firsthand the transformative power of hope and unity. The village became a living testament to the magic of the unicorn and the Pegasus, embodying the legend's message in their daily lives. Before she left, Mira gathered the villagers for one final story under the starlit sky. She spoke of her journey, the lessons she had learned, and the enduring power of the legend. As she spoke, the villagers felt a profound connection to the stories she shared, understanding that the magic of the unicorn and the Pegasus was a reflection of their own inner strength and resilience. As Mira departed, the village sent her off with heartfelt gratitude and renewed hope. She knew her journey was far from over. Each place she visited, each person she touched, carried the spark of the legend with them. The stories continued to spread, touching hearts and lighting up lives across the world. And so, the legend of the unicorn and the Pegasus lived on, a timeless symbol of hope, magic, and connection. Whenever you feel lost or in need of inspiration, remember that the magic of the unicorn and the Pegasus is always within reach. It lives in every act of kindness, every moment of courage, and every spark of hope that you carry within yourself. The legend endures, not just as a story of mythical creatures, but as a reminder that magic exists in the everyday and in the connections we make. It is a beacon of light that can guide us through the darkest times and illuminate the extraordinary within the ordinary. As Mira continued her journey, her presence was sought in many corners of the world. Her stories had sparked a global movement of hope and magic, transcending borders and cultures. Each village she visited, each person she met, added a new layer to the legend, creating a tapestry of shared dreams and interconnected hearts. One day, Mira arrived in a remote mountain village, high up in the craggy peaks. The village was small but proud, surrounded by rugged beauty and isolated from the world below. The villagers lived simple, hard-working lives, but a recent harsh winter had left them struggling with a sense of isolation and despair. They had heard whispers of Myra's magical tales and hoped she could bring a glimmer of hope to their remote home. Mira was welcomed with warmth and curiosity. The villagers gathered around, eager to hear her stories. Mira spoke of the unicorn and the Pegasus with the same passion and reverence she had always felt. Her words painted vivid images of the enchanted forest, its shimmering lights, and the grace of the magical creatures. The villagers listened intently, their hearts gradually lifting from their winter gloom. One evening, as the sun set behind the snow-capped peaks, Mira decided to take the villagers on a journey through their own land. She believed that sometimes, magic could be found in one's surroundings, not just in distant forests or mythical creatures. With the villagers by her side, she led them to a secluded glen hidden within the mountains, a place they had never explored. The glen was breathtaking. It was a serene haven, with a crystal-clear stream winding through it and delicate flowers peeking through the snow. As the villagers marveled at the beauty before them, Mira spoke softly, reminding them that magic was not just about mythical beings, but also about the wonder and beauty that existed in their own world. The villagers began to see their homeland with new eyes. They realized that the rugged mountains, the shimmering stream, and the quiet beauty of their surroundings were themselves a form of magic. The isolation they had felt was not a barrier, but a unique gift, a chance to connect deeply with the natural world around them. In the days that followed, the village thrived in ways they had never imagined. They celebrated their connection to their land with renewed vigor, finding joy in their traditions and in the simple pleasures of their daily lives. The harsh winter seemed less daunting as they embraced the beauty and magic within their reach. Before Mira departed, she gathered the villagers and shared one final story. She spoke of how the magic of the unicorn and the Pegasus was not only a reflection of the enchanted forest, but also of the wonder and resilience found within every heart. She encouraged them to carry this newfound sense of magic with them, to share it with others, and to always look for the extraordinary in the ordinary. The villagers thanked Mira with heartfelt gratitude. They had rediscovered their sense of wonder and connection, and they were eager to spread the magic they had found. Mira left the village with a sense of fulfillment, knowing that she had helped another community find hope and beauty in their own lives. As Mira's journey continued, the legend of the unicorn and the Pegasus grew ever richer. It became a symbol of the magic that exists in every corner of the world, a reminder that hope and wonder are always within reach. Her stories spread across continents, inspiring people from all walks of life to believe in their own inner magic and to share it with those around them. And so, the legend endured, a timeless beacon of light and inspiration. It taught that magic is not confined to fairy tales, but is woven into the very fabric of our lives. In every heart, there is a spark of the extraordinary waiting to shine, a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is always a glimmer of hope to guide us. Whenever you find yourself in need of inspiration or solace, remember that the magic of the unicorn and the Pegasus is within you. It lives in the connections you make, the kindness you show, and the courage you muster. The legend of the unicorn and the Pegasus continues to illuminate the world, a testament to the enduring power of belief and the beauty of shared dreams.
Esto es todo. Si te ha gustado, no olvides comentar, trae más historias. También aprovechamos a decirte que si aún no lo estás, suscríbete al canal para que sigamos trayendo más historias así. Y no olvides compartir este video con las personas que tengan un nivel de inglés más bajo que el tuyo. Muchas gracias por ver y te esperamos en el siguiente video que te dejaremos por aquí. Y con eso terminamos. Si te gustó este video, asegúrate de suscribirte al canal. Además, te invitamos a ver el siguiente video que te dejamos por aquí, para seguir mejorando tu nivel de inglés a base de práctica y repetición. Nos vemos allí.